Hello and welcome back to NFL Daily, where today we are taking a look at 10 things that can be learned from the first 3 weeks of the NFL season. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the video. With that being said, let's get right into the list. Number 10, we have Jon Gruden. After many years of trying to convince their former head coach to give up the broadcasting booth and return to the sideline, the Oakland Raiders were finally able to persuade Coach Gruden into taking up his former role. This appointment had many in Raider Nation excited, but so far Gruden has done nothing but fall short of the expectations set by his previous successes. With the Raiders off to an 0-3 start, and with both the offense and defense being ranked in the bottom third of the league, it is going to take quite the coaching job to turn the Raiders season around. Gruden is also coming under much criticism as a result of the trade of Khalil Mack, which has left the Raiders with the worst performing pass rush in the NFL. With Gruden's team only able to bring down the quarterback 3 times in the first 3 games, and Khalil Mack and the Bears posting a league-leading 14 sacks, it is clear that Gruden has not exactly made the best decisions so far in his second stint with the Raiders. At number 9, we have Khalil Mack. Next on the list, we have the all-pro pass rusher that was traded from the Raiders to the Bears this offseason in a trade that involved 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a 6th-round pick, with Khalil Mack moving from the Raiders to the Bears. After acquiring Mack, the Bears signed him to a 6-year contract extension worth an incredible $141 million, which made him the highest-paid defensive player in NFL history. The addition of Mack to an already good defense has seen the Bears become a top 10 scoring defense, the league leader in defensive efficiency, which has propelled them to a 2-1 record where they sit atop the NFC North. With a league-leading 4 sacks to go along with 3 forced fumbles and an interception return for a touchdown in just the first 3 weeks of the season, Khalil Mack has done nothing but live up to the lucrative deal he signed this offseason. Number 8, the NFC South. The next item on our list, we stay in the NFC, where through 3 weeks of football, it has been clear that the NFC South is going to be one of the most entertaining divisions in the league this year. Great divisions have to be competitive from top to bottom, and the NFC South is no exception to this rule. This is the only division in the league where all 4 teams are realistic threats to get double-digit wins, which really all comes down to their quarterbacks, as productive passing attacks are usually more consistent from year to year than stronger defenses are, and this division is led by great quarterbacks. Matt Ryan and Cam Newton have won 2 of the last 3 MVPs, while Drew Brees is playing at an all-time level. You add to this Ryan Fitzpatrick turning into Ryan Fitzmagic, and it is no surprise that the NFC South boasts 3 teams with 2-1 records that each sit in the top 10 in the NFL's power rankings. Number 7, LeVeon Bell. To Pittsburgh we go for number 7 on our list, where running back LeVeon Bell has continued his very public contract holdout into the regular season. Bell is aiming to become the highest-paid running back in NFL history, but the Steelers don't appear willing to make that commitment, instead preferring to hit him with the franchise tag, which is something that Bell stated would cause him to not show up to play for the Steelers. With the Steelers unwilling to meet the dual-threat back's demands, and members of the Steelers team publicly criticizing his actions, Bell's holdout appears to have no end in sight. If the Steelers are to continue playing without Bell in their offense, they will certainly miss his impact both running and catching the football. Last season, Bell rushed for over 1,200 yards with 9 touchdowns. He also added another 655 yards catching the ball out of the backfield. And with the Steelers sitting at the bottom of their division with the 29th ranked rushing attack in the NFL, it is clear that the Steelers either need to pay the man his money or find someone that will replace him in both the running and passing game. Number 6 is Baker Mayfield. Moving on from Pittsburgh, we find ourselves in the home of their division rivals, the Cleveland Browns. Being the focus of HBO's Hard Knocks, as well as some shrewd off-season business, has created an optimism amongst Browns fans that has not been present in recent memory. After failing to win a single game in last season, the Browns have used their first overall pick in the NFL draft on Heisman Trophy-winning quarterback Baker Mayfield. In his last season at the University of Oklahoma, Mayfield threw for over 4,500 yards, with 43 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. Being selected first overall in the NFL draft has put a tremendous amount of pressure on the shoulders of the 23-year-old quarterback. So Coach Hugh Jackson, through the first 2 games of the Browns season, went with veteran quarterback Tyrod Taylor, who ended up leading them to a 0-1-1 record. But in last week's game against the Jets, Taylor picked up a concussion and Baker was thrown into the fire late in the first half. Mayfield finished the game 17 for 23, 201 yards passing with a 94 QBR, and led the Browns to 21 points. The rookie was key to the Browns' comeback that resulted in their first win in over 600 days, and he looks poised to continue where he left off after being named starter for their Week 4 matchup against the Oakland Raiders. Number 5, Patrick Mahomes. From a rookie quarterback to a second-year one, next on our list is Patrick Mahomes. Saying a player is the real deal sometimes gets lost in translation, but when it comes to Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, It not only means he's proven himself capable of playing in the NFL, but through 3 weeks he has looked like one of the best gunslingers in the entire league and should be considered an early MVP contender. In Week 2, the 23-year-old threw for 326 yards and a remarkable 6 touchdowns in a 42-37 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mahomes now has almost 900 yards passing with 13 touchdowns and no interceptions on the season, which is an all-time great start to a season. Mahomes is showing no signs of slowing down either, with weapons like Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt, and Travis Kelce around him. Him and the 3-0 Chiefs look ready to continue their explosive run against the 26th-ranked passing defense of the Denver Broncos in Week 4 of the NFL season. Number 4, we have Julian Edelman. Our next stop is in New England, where the Patriots find themselves in unfamiliar territory as their offense, led by the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, has struggled through the first 3 weeks of the season. After leading the league in total yards and having the second highest scoring offense last season, the Patriots have dropped to 25th in the league in both these categories, and the effect of Julian Edelman's suspension on these numbers cannot be underestimated. Edelman is one of Brady's favorite targets, getting 159 balls thrown his way for 98 catches and 1,100 yards in the 2016 season. And after missing the whole 2017 season with an injury, Edelman is serving a 4-game suspension for a PD violation. Edelman's presence has certainly been missed by the Patriots as they have fallen to a 1-2 record so far this season. Edelman is set to make a Week 5 return to action, and for Brady and the Patriots, this cannot come soon enough as defenses have been able to key in on Gronk without the threat of Edelman in the slot. It's probably wise to expect the Patriots' offensive struggles to cease once Edelman comes back in the lineup, however, as this will create space for receivers like Gronkowski as well as the newly acquired Josh Gruden. At number 3, we have kickers. Coming in at number 3 on our list is one of the most overlooked positions in sports, the kicker. Kickers are people too, and like most people, they are prone to mistakes. However, through 3 games in the NFL season, those mistakes have come en masse. In fact, it was almost like a bizarre invisible illness that affects only kickers spread through the NFL, causing some crucial and game-changing misses. In Week 2 of the season, Browns kicker Zane Gonzalez missed 2 extra points and 2 field goals, as well as Vikings kicker Daniel Carlson missed 2 field goals in overtime, and the Packers kicker Mason Crosby missed a game-winning field goal. Gonzalez and Carlson were released from their teams, but Crosby, who made 5 field goals in the game, kept his job. Overall, 11 kicks have been missed in the first 3 weeks of the season, and there have been 2 games that have ended in ties, partly because of missed kicks in overtime and at the end of games. With kickers' mistakes having such an impact on results of an NFL game, it is no surprise that a struggling kicker does not last very long in the league. As we near the end of our list, we turn our attention to the Dallas Cowboys and their offensive struggles through the first 3 games of the season. Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott has 274 rushing yards, but only on 48 carries, as he's averaging a career-best 5.7 yards per carry. This is the exact same number of yards the Cowboys' star running back had after 3 games in his rookie season, where he ended up leading the league in rushing. But Elliott had 23 more carries at this point in his rookie season and 7 more carries at this point last season. With the Cowboys having the 30th ranked offense in the NFL while still having a top 10 ground game, it is clear that putting the ball in the hands of Zeke Elliott more can only mean good things for the Cowboys. This will also allow the struggling Cowboys passing attack time to figure things out while they ride Ezekiel Elliott and their solid defense to some wins. At number 1, you have the NFL and the new roughing the passer calls. The final spot on our list had to go to the most talked about thing throughout the first month of the NFL season, the crazy amount of roughing the passer calls. With the implementation of a new rule about pass rushers landing with body weight on the quarterback, there has been a significant increase in the number of roughing the passer calls in the NFL season, with officials having already flagged roughing the passer 34 times this year. Through the first 3 weeks of the 2016 and 2017 seasons, there were only 20 and 16 roughing calls respectively. Not only is this increase in penalties causing defensive players to be outraged, but is also deciding the outcome of games. In addition to changing outcomes, this rule has created such a quarterback-friendly environment, which is why we have seen so many dominant performances put on by quarterbacks and offenses through the first 3 weeks of this season. While the majority of players, fans, and coaches think this rule and how it is being called is an issue, the NFL has persisted with it, and it is going to be up to the defensive coaches as well as the players to adjust and find ways to perform under these tricky circumstances. So here we are at the end of the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching to the end. Be sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you.